Hello, y'all, and happy Halloween. I am still Shy Ridgely as far as I know, and this is still Chet, unless he changed his name and didn't tell anybody. So we have a great conversation happening today. Let's pass it on over to Dad so we can give our shout outs and thank yous.
Absolutely. Thank you, Shy.
Of course.
Again, I'd like to thank our sponsorship, Absolutely99.com, Changing Lives at Home, Hefe Hair, LA Cruiser, Premier Tag and Title, and last but not least, Synergy. Thank y'all for being proud sponsor of the Chet Chat Show with my co-host Cheyenne.
Cool. All right, so today is the last day of October, which means tomorrow we are officially hopping into holiday season. So topic of discussion today, Dad, is going to be customer service and I guess the importance of customer service, having good customer service. So as always, I have several questions for you.
This is one thing I love about you because I never know what we're going to talk about. She gets to pick the topic and then we go from there as it relates to the subject matters. And I'm glad that she picked the topic. So now I had to think in my brain to talk about what she wants to talk about. Go ahead, Sean.
Okay, so very recently I have gone into several stores and have seen some interactions with employees and their customers that they're helping that haven't necessarily, in my opinion, been a pleasant experience from viewing it. I went in, there was a transaction going on, and while they were waiting for whatever was getting run out to them, the person was on their phone instead of talking to the person they should have been helping. And I was like, this is interesting. Another time, just Sunday when we went to Corner Bakery and we messed up an order, and I had asked them to redo it, and there was a whole bunch of attitude around having to redo an order that they got wrong. So my initial question is, do we think that customer service has declined, I guess, since a period in your life versus right now, present day?
Absolutely. In my opinion, customer service has declined dramatically. And what I mean by that is many people today, I don't know, it's because of social media and everybody could be on their phone and whatnot, but it has gone to a lackluster performance. And when I was growing up, we were taught to be the best possible representation of yourself on any job, not just a job relating to customer service, but any job that you had. So when I came home, it's funny that you bring that up. A good friend of mine took me shopping, to buy, clothes and things like that. And I won't put the store name in, but when I walked in the store, at least several people were on their cell phone as if I didn't even exist in the store. And I was like, wow. Customer service has truly fell off, in my opinion. And I can't believe that, and I don't know where that lack of commitment comes to when you're dealing with a job that basically pays you for being a good customer to a degree. Because without the customer, 9 times out of 10, the owner or owners wouldn't need you to be a part of their business if the customers wasn't coming in the store. So I'm shocked that since I've been back, that customer service has depleted in a lot of areas, not just the restaurant area. I mean, in the market, in retail, customer service has gone to an all-time low, in my opinion. Not in every store now,
right, but
in the majority of the stores that I have visited recently, customer service has fallen off, in my opinion. In some of the high-end stores, even those restaurants that I've been frequent to lately, their customer service is not to a standard that I'm used to having, put it that way.
You mentioned social media possibly being a factor into why customer service has depleted or has gone down. I'm curious, do you think there are other factors as well, or do you think social media is like a prime example? Because we did touch on social media last week and whether or not we thought it was positively or negatively impacting our community. So do you think that that's one of the main reasons customer service has depleted, or just the factor of a bigger issue that we're dealing with?
I think it's a combination. I think one of social media definitely plays a part in it, but I also believe that people aren't younger people aren't being taught the things that I was taught. And I'm not saying everything I was taught was correct,
Right.
but what I was taught, again, I think I said it earlier, do the best possible job at a job or a career so you can then use it as stepping stones to get to your next place. Often I found with people in their mind, and when I ask people, they like, oh, this is not my career job, or this is not what I want to do later in life. But to me, if you take that approach in doing retail, and then you say you want to be the owner of this retail franchise, I think a certain approach needs to be put in place. And I put a quote, successful people follow successful patterns. And those patterns to get to the top, yes, is it nepotism involved in life? Yes, it is. However, those who work their way up normally follow a certain pattern of quality productivity. And I don't see that a lot of times in these younger people. I don't know where they got sidetracked, or they just thinking they taking a job because their parents told them to take a job, or they just taking a job to get a check. And if you're doing that, I think you're operating in the wrong hemisphere for me and the others, I believe. So that's one of the things I realized, that it starts when you're younger. Because when I was taught, my uncle told me, if you're to clean toilets, be the best toilet cleaner you can be.
Right.
And meaning is not that that's going to be your end job or your end career, but be proficient at what you're doing. Don't just go in there, wipe around a little bit and then say, I'm done. No, being there as if that was you being representative of the representative that you want in front of you. And I often don't think people look at it in that mirroring effect, because then when they go in the store, they complain about customer service.
Right.
But do they ever look at themselves as, hey, when I'm working, I'm performing up to a higher par. And they had all these programs out now that's rating companies and whatnot.
Yelp and everything.
Yeah, Yelp and everything. And stop giving everybody these shout outs, because, they're not sponsors. I mean, that's just my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, So that's one of the things I really notice, that people aren't caring enough about themselves, because again, it goes all the way back with the mental rebooting, and then they portray these images on to other
establishments or like people who are working there.
Exactly.
So do you think there's a sense of hypocrisy lying there then?
Meaning,
because you're talking about, we should go into a store, I guess, assuming that, like, if we were the person who's working in that store, how would we want to be treated? How would we want to be approached, etc.? So is there a sense of hypocrisy revolving around, if I go in and I'm extremely great, I'm a positive person, etc., but the person who's helping me, like, really couldn't care less? And is there hypocrisy of that person who couldn't care less about their job going into a store and demanding a higher level of customer service?
I think so. Sometimes I can't speak for everybody, again, because I haven't been in every retail store or every restaurant that exists in the world. But I really do, because when they're at work, those that aren't trying to live up to a higher standard as doing a better job, they're just there again saying, let me collect a paycheck. But then when they go to a restaurant or establishment that has services, they then try to hold them higher accountability, where you have to start with yourself. And I think you said that all the time. Accountability, it starts with you, and is the part of rebooting yourself. Because I see so often people always see the end effect to people that are successful, whether it's in entertainment, education, in any of these fields.
The end result.
They send the end result,
not the process.
They don't see the process. And that process, with most people that I've talked to, that I know personally, that are quote unquote successful people, it's a process. They started this process when they first got involved with the process. People were able to mentor them, coach them, and teach them things, that it's a process. And I don't know if we're not teaching this, it's a process, or that social media believe that you can just wake up and if your goal is to be financially wealthy, you're wealthy. Hey, for those that's chiming in, we're having difficulty. We had people coming and going. I'd like to thank all that continue to look at us. Hey, Desiree, I hope all is well. Happy Halloween. I appreciate you chiming in. I appreciate everything you're doing for the community as well. And people, again, don't get recognized for the process.
Right.
Because some people are really molding people into successful beings as it relates to a world stage. Mm-hmm. And I don't see that in a lot of customer service anymore. And it saddens me because I wonder if that's how they feel about themselves, you know, lackluster, especially on the phone, doing while you're working, unless your phone calls for that. Unless you work for CNP, Verizon, I'm sorry, CNP is for older people, Verizon and Sprint. I don't think you should be on your phone while you're at work. And that's just my opinion. That's not a fact. I don't think you should be on your phone, especially while you're driving. And again, I worked on that when I first came home because I'm thinking I can text and, you know, this is not customer service, but it's the process. Because if I think I can do it while I'm driving, then I probably think I can do it while I'm at work. Or then I think I can do it while I'm entertaining people. Yeah. So it's a mindset that's really needed to be changed to let younger people as well as older people know that treat people how you want to be treated at the job site.
Yeah.
You know? And if you want to be treated like crap, then don't come to where I'm at, please. I can't take it, you know. But if you want to be treated with respect and love, then treat those people in that same manner when they come to your establishment. Mm-hmm. And a lot of y'all, and this saddens me, before my incarceration, I would go into certain stores and high-end stores, and it would really belittle me. Like, wow, y'all work here. Y'all don't own it. Y'all not the brand name of this company, and you're trying to treat me where I'm the one basically affording your paycheck. It might not be direct affording, but me and several other people that visit your establishment, that visit the establishment you work at, and I don't get it. I mean, I think you should treat everybody with human decency, respect people in the workforce, on the job site, you know, and if you do that, I think better outcomes can happen. If you're having a rough day, don't take it out on the person you're working for. Take it to yourself later on. Deal with that later on. But when you're on a job, in my opinion, you need to be at high performance level at every time. And every day might not be a high performance day, but you need to be at an octane level that is extremely high, in my opinion. And whatnot. So, hey, Carlos, yo, como está usted? Yeah, my Spanish is much better. Muy bien. So that's my opinion on it. And I don't think, how do you feel when you go into a store? Do you believe that you're getting adequate service, or do you think it's a different steps in these services depending on what store you go to? Or, and another last question to you, do you believe this accuracy should be across the board in any store you go shopping to, or any restaurant you
visit? Well, I do believe that when you put on your work shirt, you're representing not yourself, just yourself at that point, but you're also representing the company that you're working for. And there's an initial reason that the company hires you, because each company has their own set of standards and has their own set of what they look for when they are hiring, because they don't want anyone just representing their brand. Right. If that was the case, they'd be hiring, honestly, anyone. I don't think they'd have interviews and everything. So I feel as though there should be a sense of pride for you to want to represent that company on a bigger level.
Bingo, pride.
And again, it is starting. So if you're starting as someone who's just on a basic level and it's just like on the sales floor or something, and it might not be your goal to reach it up to corporate, etc., but I feel as though the mentality that you have should be like, oh, even though I know I'm not staying with this company, if I do my due diligence and I do well where I am right here, it'll be looked at by someone who's higher up, and they could recommend me for another position that is higher than what I'm getting right now. So I do believe that across the board, anywhere that you are working, you should, as you were saying, you should act as though, I don't know, you should have that sense of pride for working there, and you should do the best that you can do while you are there. No, it's not going to be your forever job in most cases, but it's your job for the time being. So if that's how you're going to handle the job for your time being, and if you don't care about it, then how are you going to care about a job that is better than what you think it is that you're having now.
And what you're in search of.
Right. And I do believe that God places you where you're supposed to be at the time you're supposed to be in it, but he's not going to excel you and catapult you to a higher place if he doesn't think that you can handle this job that you is a low-end job if you're not doing it to your best ability.
Right. And because what a lot of people think, because they're working here now and they're going to be there later, but it's a process to get there later. And that process, it starts with yourself. Self-respect. Respect yourself first, then you can respect others. Because when you come on my job site, I want you to be the best possible person, that representation of not just me, my company. I want you to represent yourself as a company, because you never know who's watching you, who's looking at you, who tends to be, seeing you, but you're not seeing them. So be the best possible. And I mean that with sincerity. Anybody that know me, be the best representation of yourself, because you just never know. Stop looking at a lot of people end results. You'd be surprised how many stars have started with mediocre jobs, as they call it. And now they propelled themselves to a level that's out of this world, as they call it. And it was a process for them. You can ask any successful person that I know of, or you may know, and they will tell you they follow certain patterns. And if you follow those patterns early in the mediocre job, as they call it, then when you get to the excel job that you're looking for, you will be already in line. Yeah. You will already have what's necessary to excel and exceed beyond your expectations yourself. So I just think customer service has fell off. And this for those people that's guru in electronics. I was thinking about coming out with an app that has customer service base, where companies hire you to do their customer service before they hire people. Y'all can take that one. That's free of charge. I don't want anything from it, because my mind has so many other things on it, but that's a free of charge. Customer service, in my opinion, has fallen off tremendously, not just because of social media, too.
I think it's a sense of entitlement also, especially if my generation are a little bit younger, like generations after the year I was born. But I do think that there's a sense of entitlement, whereas people feel as though now that something should just be given to you because you're deserving of it, whether or not you have the criteria or you meet the criteria or have the experience to actually excel in that job. They just feel as though, okay, I'm quote unquote successful, or I come from a family that is very well off, so I should just be given this job because of my status. So I do think entitlement also plays into customer service kind of slacking these days. And Carlos, I do also agree with you that it is up to management to know who to hire, and management, to get up to that point, again, has to meet a certain criteria, and they go through a different screening and everything than the people who they're hiring. But sometimes they do fall short, and the people that they do see when they are hiring can be a different person than what they actually are when they are performing. But that also goes back to, if management realizes that the person they hired wasn't who they thought they hired, they should have a conversation with the person and ask, either what's going on or what can he do or she do to help that person perform better while they are on the floor.
Because normally most people send their representative, no matter what it is, whether it's in a relationship, getting hired, friendships, most people send their representative first, and then you get who they really are afterwards. Right, exactly. So I don't disagree with Carlos or you with that, but I just know most people, whatever it may be, send their representative, and then the real person show up after that. Right. So I just know that we, like that saying go, know better, do better. I just believe customer service people, if you're watching, and I hope you understand it, there's no dig on you as personally per se, but I do know when you're in a customer service based business, you need to give quality customer service. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not saying bend over backwards, talking about give me water or champagne, because there's some places they do that. But I'm just saying, when I come in, greet me the way you want to be greeted if the roles was reversed. And I think that applies with not just customer service.
It's just anything. So talk to someone how you want to be talked to. Don't come in with an attitude. The person didn't do, not 12 out of 9 times the person that you're taking your anger out do not do it to you. So it's again goes back to
12 out
yourself.
of 9. That's
Yes,
interesting. You normally say 9 out of 10, but I guess
no,
that's a
but
new
it's
way
like,
thing.
it's a higher thing. It's just
Right.
like it goes
12
back
out
to
of
what
10.
you're saying about be comfortable with you and know how you would like to be treated, etc. And then treat the people aside from the customer service thing. Treat the people how you would like to be treated.
Absolutely.
And spoken to. That's a big one.
Thank you, Kim, for joining in as always. Thank y'all for the support. I appreciate all those who support us, you know, throughout, especially the sponsorships. They make it happen right now. And again, people, as my daughter stated, she's a generation behind me. Would you be considered?
I don't really, you guess so.
Oh, yes. But she even noticed the lackluster performance in customer service. And again, I'm not shouting out any of these companies that we shouted, you know, out. But our customer service wasn't that good when me and my daughter went out that day, and the chain broke somewhere. And most people say you're as strong as your next link.
Mm-hmm.
So people, your weakest link. Yeah. So let's tighten up our links. Let's work on ourselves, continue to work on ourselves. And please know I'm not excluded from that. I'm a work in process. I don't want people to think I got it all right every day, because I don't. But what I do try to do, not take my issues into the workforce while I'm working. I try to take my issues outside the workforce while I'm working. And with that being stated, any last remarks, Sha?
Yes, last thing before we wrap it up, just as we go into the holiday season, be mindful of your actions and of your words, etc. Because people who are working there in retail or working wherever do have families and stuff, etc. So they're working these extra long hours to ensure that you guys are getting what you need to make the holidays amazing. But at the end of the day, they're also human beings who have feelings and have lives outside of work. So just be mindful. If customer service not there, maybe do a quick survey so we can continue to better these establishments and continue to have positive influence and better customer service across the board.
Thank you very much. And I would like to end with, for all those families that are going through something tragic, that went through something tragic, please pray for everybody. Pray that we heal as a country, as a state, as a community, as a neighborhood, as your household. As I know I said it backwards, but it's not really backwards when you look at it. Please, people, start learning to love and respect yourself first, then start to learn and love, respect others. Even if you have different opinions, different facts, please, we're all here trying to make it as one. And you know, so that's how I want to end it, you know, in a slight giving thanks for all. Thanks for those who can join in live. Thanks for those who look at it afterwards. May these messages that we try to convey the positive energy to you and others. And with that saying,
yeah, much love, y'all. We'll catch you next time.
Peace.